Hi Aries, welcome to the Lucky Tarot. Thank you guys so much for being here. I have for you the rest of June love and relationship messages. This is intended for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you are a cross watcher, feel free to reverse the roles here. And also please bear in mind, these are all general messages. It may not resonate for all of you guys. I do highly recommend that you check your other signs for more information. So Aries, I'm going to shuffle the cards and lay them out first before I interpret the meaning. Okay, so Aries, going back to your reading, there's a few things that we want to discuss first before we jump right into the other person's energy and your energy. In the recent past, this is what happened recently. We had the Hangman. The Hangman to me is the need to make some sacrifices, or that someone could have made a lot of sacrifices, but then nothing is really moving or happening in the connection. It could be by choice that you guys are not moving forward. Someone is hanging on. Someone is waiting for a change to happen. But either way, both of you guys need a fresh perspective, right? There's a problem in terms of maybe lack of action. One is not motivated to do some changes over here, and one of you could be fearing those changes, right? It could be you or the other person. But with the Hangman, eventually things are going to start moving forward. You both just need to see this in a different perspective and different light. Okay, I don't see that, Aries, you are really frustrated about this, although there might be some arguments back and forth, because we have here the Five of Swords, and I will get back into that in a while. But I'm seeing here that more or less it's like that kind of energy where you're just letting the universe take its course of action. You're letting this go. You're letting this be. It's not that you're the one making the effort to release the other person, but it's like what goes. You know what I mean? It's like you're about to surrender something. You're about to let go something, because you know that if you resist this, right, you're gonna struggle more, is what I'm picking up. Also, I'm hearing the words surrender, so maybe the other person is starting to surrender, like they're giving up as well. But from what I'm seeing here, not everything is really lost, okay? And I'm gonna get back to that because I see the Ten of Pentacles here as the outcome card, okay? So the current energy at the moment is the Page of Pentacles, and the overall connection this week is the Five of Swords. So the current energy playing on with you and this person, it could be that you are dealing with a pentacle energy and earth sign. That could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone that has those in their chart, very strong earth sign. But they're coming across as the Page of Pentacles. That means they have an idea, they have a plan, or they're wanting to do some planning, right, with you towards the direction where the situation is going. It may require some sacrifices on both of your ends. Maybe for one of you, you're starting to lose hope or faith, but actually the current energy seems to be very positive and hopeful. Someone is taking charge and also planning out the next course of action when it comes to this relationship. Okay, it's only a matter of time, because Pentacles is grounding energy. It could be a slow development, but it will get there. It will definitely get there. Maybe this person is trying to prepare for what's coming before really engaging and taking action. So there's the kind of reviewing and analyzing the pros and cons before taking on that new path with you, okay? Or it could be your energy as well. And the overall connection between you and this person, Five of Swords. Now, it could be that this already happened in the past, where one of you or the other person, right, or it could be you as well, Aries, you did not really understand where this person is coming from. There could have been some blaming or pointing fingers back and forth, and I think that this argument could have blew out of proportion. It wasn't really that it is an easy problem. I think that it's because someone was just more emotional, while the other person was not really understanding the depth of the emotions of the other person. They could have perceived it as, oh, it's not a big deal, why are you making a big deal out of the situation? You know what I mean? And I'm picking up that vibe where someone is crying here. It's like they're not they're not crying because someone is fighting them, but they're crying because someone refuses to listen to their explanation. You know what I mean? So it could have been a situation where it's one-sided. Also, someone could have lashed out because they were really stacking up those frustrations for a while now. And so overall connection, I sense that you're not communicating very well. There could have been some disappointment or disagreement and conflict going on. But eventually, this is just a temporary phase. 5 is a rolling number, so it's not really the finality. It's just that that's something you need to really confront about each other when the time is right, and when perhaps you may have cooled off, the anger and the frustration you have for one another, okay? Alright, so what's coming in the near future is the 6 of Cups. Now, this could be your soulmate, someone you already met, or someone that you already have a history together, but things are not really moving forward from where it started. So, but you miss each other is what I'm saying, and maybe in the coming future, in the coming weeks, days, months, or years, depending on your situation really, I feel like you both are going to cross paths once again. This person is going to pay you a visit. They're going to try to communicate and reach out, okay? And I feel like it's going to be in a much better place, much better spot, and much better intention, if you know what I mean. Because kindness has been restored in this particular energy, in this card. Whereas what's going on right now is that there's just a lot of disagreement on both ends. But with the 6 of Cups, there's that random act of kindness. It's like someone finally maybe have let go of the anger or whatever conflict that was, and then getting back together, okay? There's that kind of energy. It's also bringing back how it was in the beginning, how beautiful it all was. So someone who's reminiscing and feeling nostalgic about the connection, and perhaps that could be a motivation to reach out, okay? So the challenge for this week for you guys is the 6 of Pentacles. I'm seeing that, well, this person could either be staying at the moment, but they know that things are not really going right, or like they couldn't be the same person they were, so they're like giving you enough to make you stay. Or it could be you, Aries, wherein you're just really, that kind of connection wherein you're not as warm as before in terms of communication. You're just giving one word, one liner type of stuff, but that's because there's a lot of things in your head really, and maybe you're trying to like spread yourself too thin, or someone could be spreading themselves too thin, trying to be everything to this relationship, but then again, they're not getting the amount of attention and effort from the other person. So that could have been the case, and now you're pulling back, okay? You're pulling back from all of those efforts. You're learning to balance what you give and what you receive. So it's like by choice, okay, that you're controlling the amount of effort that you're giving in. But as a challenge card, someone here must need some checking in terms of sacrifices, because someone tends to do things more than the other person. So it's like getting back into a normal, healthy dynamics, give and take, so that, okay, so potentially this wouldn't be a one-sided connection in the long run, okay? That's what I'm picking up. As an advice, excuse me for that, 4 of Cups, Aries, I feel like this energy is more or less talking about if you feel rejected right now, or someone feels rejected. I don't feel like the cards are at least saying that this is maybe a good time to check in on whatever it is that you need to sort out about the connection for now, because the rejection is maybe a sign from the universe that you shouldn't force on the situation for working out right now. There's always a divine timing for everything to come together. I already told you a while ago that things could really blow up if you both insist on what you want. I also see here that because you both, I'm hearing the words strong leadership, like maybe both of you want to lead the connection and the other person may not want to follow. So no one is really, again, listening to the other person. Okay, you both want to lead, you both want to have your way, and so there's no forward movement. It's a stalemate pretty much, unless someone gives in to the other person and surrender, right? But it's because no one wants to give in and let the other person have their way, right? Both of you are maybe in that phase where you both feel like, I just want to give up, I want to surrender, I want to like give this to the universe if this situation won't even move forward or have some changes, you know what I mean? So it could be an outright feeling rejected, not because you don't love each other, but because both of you are not having it your way, you know what I mean? So what's coming in as an outcome card is the 10 of Pentacles, and again, 6 of Cups Cups and Ten of Pentacles. Like the song went a while ago, it's like this person is just gonna resurface again. Maybe at the least that you expected them to come on your doorstep and knocking on your door again, you know what I mean? And it's like they're having a proposal, but it's completely up to you, Aries, if you take this person back. But I do sense that as an outcome card, there's a sense of coming together, a sense of maybe embracing one another again and pulling each other back into your lives, like working out your differences and then learning to respect, you know, each other better for everything that has happened, and then letting go of the frustration and anger that once took place in this relationship. So there's a sense of family, and since we are in Cancer season, I think that this is a key point, you know. If you embrace each other as family, if you forgive each other as family, I feel like this can really repair the connection that you both have. Now, Aries, if this is not your love interest, this could be any person in your life really that you may have drifted apart, or there's like some falling out in the process, but then you both don't know how to move forward because no one is really giving in. I feel like this is still worth saving. That's what my spirit guides want me to tell you guys right now, that it's only a phase. Eventually things will start to move forward, especially the love never died, you know what I mean? There's still that sense of family and coming together. And Aries, if you're done making sacrifices, then, you know, don't force yourself into being the one to take action. Like, just let the universe have its natural course. For the meantime, though, it's not waiting in vain. It's actually using this wonderful and precious time you have in your hands to create something really powerful for yourself, okay? And I'm going into that in a while, okay? So, Seven of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Emperor. This week, I feel like you guys are really in silent mode. You're not communicating well, and you're withholding some form of information or communication to this person. It could be that you are choosing not to cross paths or see each other. If you normally see this person, you will try your best to evade or like avoid this person for now, because there are things that you are trying to avoid, maybe confrontation, maybe talking things out. I think that you know better. If you force the situation, things can really blow up, right? Also, you could be perceiving this person as quite sneaky, going behind your back and doing things that are not really honorable or not really appropriate for the relationship. But then again, use your intuition to discern really why this person is avoiding you. For all you know, this person is also just not ready for the harsh truth or the confrontation, and it will just require a lot of time, okay, until they go back to their normal self and ready to tackle on harsh discussions, okay? So there's like a sneaky and cautious energy that I'm picking up. It could also be that you're keeping low-key, Aries. You're not pretty much engaging well with other people because you're sorting things out with this relationship. So maybe you're not feeling the need to explain yourself to people why this argument took place. If there's a falling out, like you're avoiding any form of communication or advice from people because you just really want people to leave you alone and be alone with your thoughts, okay, as you gather all information so that you know how to move forward in time. Now, Aries, you could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I do sense this Knight of Cups is eventually going to bring forth a message of love, reconciliation, and coming together. But the only problem here that I'm seeing is that you have a tendency to be head over heels with this person back then, and you're trying to avoid that because I feel like you have already learned your lesson. Not that it's a problem, but I see this being, be very careful if you tend to do too much isolation, okay, because it might also lead you towards a path that you don't want. Knight of Cups is the energy, this is the great romantic, the Romeo in the deck, okay, but it tends to follow its bliss. So if you avoid too much confrontation and you're not afraid to really listen to what the other person has to say, you might be following a different route where there's not much logic into it, but you're letting your emotions overrule you, okay, into a different route, a different understanding from the reality, right? Because the reality is there's a situation, there's a problem. And the Hangman, there's like an energy of escaping here, like escaping in your own thoughts, not really wanting to get back on the ground and deal with the situation, because for a lot of reasons, to be honest, okay? So be very careful about that, because leaving things hanging, like pretending it's not there. Again, we pick up that vibe from last week, Aries. So pretending it's not there, yes, it's not making things worse, but at the same time, you know, it's a lot better to come prepared when the time comes that you need to really tie the loose ends about the situation, because you might never know that you're just delaying, you know, the abundance and the development that should take place in this relationship. And you showing up here as the Emperor, I feel as though it's like you have to be aware that you have your own voice, and that do not be afraid to exercise your own free will in this situation. Don't let your emotions get you carried away, pretty much, or maybe fear of being emotionally attached get you carried away, okay, in dealing with this whole situation. Remember your power. You are the Emperor here, okay? You are someone who knows what you stand for in life. You're not afraid to get what you want. You are someone who also perceives if an energy is threatening, if something is really not good for you versus what's good for you. So see if this person is just really deceitful in a sense, because Seven of Swords can also represent that. They're deceiving you with words or offer that seems to be really doubtful for you at the moment. Or you could also be deceiving yourself by maybe potentially being carried away by your emotions. Therefore, the Emperor reminds you of careful planning and weighing pros and cons, really sorting out your emotions to get to a better mind frame and mindset, okay? Because Four of Cups, don't let your emotions overrule your head, okay? So the other person, Two of Cups, Seven of Cups, and Page of Cups. Very emotional person at this point, or that the whole situation is making them really feel emotional, from what I'm seeing here, Aries. So whoever you're dealing with, they see you as their soulmate. I think that we already established that with this one. So they still are very much attached to you. They still love you, they still think about you, and they still see this relationship as one of a kind. So it's not really easy for this person to break free or walk away or just outright accept, you know, the ending that's bound to happen. And they're still thinking of ways to keep the situation together, if you know what I mean. So this person might still feel confused though with the Seven of Cups. It could be confusion brought about by choices. Maybe this person is distracted at the moment because of all different things that's going on in your relationship and in their own personal life, that it's conflicting. They could still be focusing on the Two of Cups if it weren't for all of this distraction and temptation maybe going on. So this is something the person needs to overcome. It is not something that you must choose for this person. They must come to terms with their own decision making. This is something that they need to confront themselves, right? And eventually, I feel like with the Page of Cups, this person is going to come with a fresh perspective. There's going to be that kind of aha moment, but more coming from a place of emotional stability, right? Yes, it's maybe an offer that is still very premature to say because we have the Page of Cups, but at least it's a lot better because they're no longer in this situation, okay? They're no longer as confused or as tempted to not choose the connection. So eventually this person will come to terms with, you know, with their decision, and they're going to choose one cup. Hopefully it is the relationship that you both have at the moment, okay? So let's get some animal spirit for you, Aries, to close this reading. Animal spirit for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. The Horse, you could be dealing with an earth sign once again. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's get one more card out. And the Lion. Wow, you both are power horses. You both have strong leaderships. Like, again, there's that kind of energy that I'm picking up wherein the two of you don't want to budge. Like, you have one way of doing things, the other person has a way of doing things. So you often clash because I think that that's where the difficulty lies. Like, you love each other, you want each other, you do desire each other, right? It never changed. But coming together is a bit difficult because there are certain circumstances that you're going through, and the other person has a set of circumstances that he or she is going through, and the lack of giving in or letting each other have their way is what's clashing, right? I see that you could be dealing with a free-spirited person. The idea of commitment could sometimes make this person feel stifled, you know what I mean? Because the horse is a very hard-working creature. It's the kind of animal, it's a perfect, energy for an earth sign. Very grounding, very patient, very hardworking. But once they feel like enough is enough, like they're being pressured and burnt out, this animal spirit needs their freedom to just run through the fields and just do whatever they wish to do in order to feel, the passion and the drive. You being the lion, though, I feel like, yeah, this is pretty much your energy, Aries. You are the leader of the pack pretty much, and you look forward to the future. And so this horse may be running to the wild and having their sense of freedom for now. Is you feeling a bit like, disappointed by this person, like you think you already know this person, but this is something that caught you off guard and you outright feel rejected. But eventually this horse will come to terms about their responsibilities. Like I mentioned, they will come to you again when the time is right. So by the meantime, be prepared for your decision when that happens. Okay, Aries? So that is your reading. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know in the email if you want me to extend this reading, right, for a private reading. And I'm thinking of creating a Vimeo account soon. So, yeah, this is your reading. Thank you guys again. Sending you love and light, and namaste.